Ahoy hoy. We're back. Second of two beer reviews tonight. So this is kind of new, kind of old. I think they've reformulated this one since back in the day. Uh Garrison's Jalapeno Ale. Chili beer. The original Halifax Jalapeno Ale, which is true. Garrison started making this, I think, back in 1999. Hecho in Halifax desde 1999. Muy caliente. Cerveza picante. Definitely different than the old bottled version. Used to be able to get, although it was very brief. Like, this was one of those ones where it's like they very limited run of bottles or cans in the actual NSLC. They've brought it back in subsequent years as a sort of seasonal. It was kind of like a one-off kind of special thing. I think you could get it at like the Garrison Brewery. I think you could probably always get it there. But other than that, it was very, very hard to see, to find this one, as far as I could tell. I could be wrong. Could be that if you lived in Halifax all this time, you could always get it. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. Feeling spicy, it says. Where's the... Contains barley. Okay, so we got to go to the website. Beer with natural chili pepper flavor. So basically they're saying they don't put chilies in the actual brew. I think they used to do that. But before, I think it was only purely jalapeno too at that point. But let's go to the website. So the original version was like it was tasty, but it was very light and very light on the pepper. It was like, it had a bit of jalapeno flavor, but it was very mild, very, very mild. I think they've changed it since then. I think they've increased the potency of the chilies. We brought back your favorite cerveza picante. Our jalapeno ale is muy caliente with a spicy jalapeno, habanero, Scotch bonnet, and Jamaican hot pepper twist. So I think they're probably using like the oils of these peppers, or maybe they just kind of juiced them, maybe a puree or something that they just kind of like get the liquid from. But I don't think they're putting shit in the mash anymore. Maritime Pale Ale, wheat malts, Cascade, Millennium, and Willamette hops, 5% alcohol by volume, 11 IBUs. And before we can get into tasting notes and spoil everything, because of Garrison's weird website, the way it presents its things, this little banner down the bottom here that you can't seem to get rid of kind of like cuts off half the paragraph. So great job, Garrison. Maybe that's meant for a different kind of monitor or mobile devices. Maybe that's the problem, but that ain't my problem. So let's see what we think. Definitely getting the inside of a, not super strong, but like the inside of a bell pepper is kind of like the overall getting off the can here. Let's see what we get in the actual aroma when we pour it. All right, pouring nice and clear. Amber color. There we go. Pretty much looks how I remember it from the old bottled version. Definitely a little grassiness from the actual malt sort of coming up here. Kind of just a muted, muted inside of a green bell pepper. It's kind of what the aroma is, and it's not intense at all. So Don't smell this expecting it to like immediately like burn your nose or anything like that. In fact, it's almost got no smell at all to some extent. So we're not going to get anything else out of that. We're just going to go to the taste and see if it does the thing it's supposed to do. Essentially, beers that are made like this, they're kind of like made as like really good food beers. That's generally the idea here. It's not so much as to like, oh, this is an intense chili beer that's going to burn your mouth or anything. If anything, it's more like a beer that's going to maybe get the salivation going in your mouth a little bit, get that running, and just to pair well with like a good dish of some sort, like like tacos or nachos or something along those lines. Cheers. Okay. That's good. It's super light. I kind of even wonder why they bothered brewing it as an ale. It should just be a lager, honestly. It should just be an actual like Mexican cerveza in the sense of like a Corona or a Sol, because the body here and the drinkability here is no different than one of those beers. The only other beer I can think of right offhand that would be contesting this beer would be the El Diablo from Good Robot, and I'd say that's maybe a better version, essentially, of this in some respect. I think maybe the. Well, no, let's ponder on this a little bit more. Some more sips of it before I start going off all half cocked and making proclamations that are not true. So there's a sweetness to this in the background. I assume that's from whatever sort of is in the malt for this. There is a nice little sweetness in the back, but it's got a very muted jalapeno taste. I'd say it's more intense than the old version of this that I had back in the day. Um, but I mean, take that with a grain of salt because although I found it muted back in the day, I was my palate was a lot less in tune with like spicy foods and stuff like that. I hadn't done a lot of really spicy stuff and hot sauces and stuff by back when I first did this. At least I don't think I did. I'm trying to think of when I had the original. What year would that be? 2008 or something like that. And I'm probably talking on my ass here. Old man trying to remember things. This has a more robust pepper taste to it. A lot of it is more just that inside of a bell pepper thing, but you know how like bell peppers can have a bit of a vegetal like sweetness to them as well in some respects. Um, there's some of that here, but there's just a lot more like overall pepper flavor. There's a little bit of heat. Um, just enough that you can kind of detect it, but it's not even say close to like a real weak sauce ginger beer as far as like heat level goes. So there's nothing to worry about here. Like you shouldn't be worried about this thinking, oh, it's going to burn my taste buds. It's going to burn my palate. None of that. No problem with this at all. This is perfectly situated as a food beer. Exactly what it is. Or just like a very light drinking beer that has a little extra something going on. I still kind of wish this was a light cerveza style and like again, like I was saying, kind of like Sol or Corona. because this would be a superior version of that. Like it would blow that out of the water. But this being an ale feels weird to me. I don't know why they did that, considering there's like really no ale like qualities to it at all. But whatever Garrison's gonna do, they're gonna do. But yeah, this is fun. Actually, getting more sweetness, more like that kind of sweetness you can get from peppers as well, like just bell peppers. Bite into like a fresh bell pepper. This is not like after you've like grilled a bell pepper or fried a bell pepper. This is just kind of that sweetness, and then that underneath kind of earthy vegetal taste that you get from a bell pepper is what's coming up here. And then, of course, a little teeny bit of the heat. This needs more heat, honestly, is what it needs. They could have pumped up the habanero or something in this to, because they say they have habanero and Scotch bonnet in this, and it's like, do they? Because it feels like it's just habanero, or I mean jalapeno, and not a lot of it. But whatever. Yeah, this is tasty. As a chili beer, it's okay. Style wise, I'd probably sit it at a 7.5. I think it kind of does the things, but it could do a lot more. It honestly could. Do I like it? Yeah, 7. I'd drink it again. I'd buy it again. The next time I buy it, I'd probably pair it with like nachos or something like that. It would be perfectly good for that. But like honestly, the now that I'm thinking about it, the Good Robot Diablo, better version of this. It really is. It's the better version of this. But it is kind of cool to see Garrison come out with this old beer of theirs and sort of drop it on our laps. Now here's something Garrison could really do. If they really wanted to impress me, bring back your old double IPA. Put that in bottles. No, don't put it in bottles. Just put that in cans. Nostalgia was hitting me there for a minute. Take your old double IPA, which used to be the fucking bomb, the premier fucking West Coasty in style fucking grapefruit bomb. Real old school double IPA that was just amazing. Bring that back. I would buy that up in a fucking heartbeat. But this is a nice little trip back down memory lane. They've tweaked a few things. They could definitely tweak a lot more, like I said. But yeah, the Garrison Jalapeno Ale. I guess it's a good chili beer for beginners, for normies. I kind of hate using that term normies. That's kind of it's kind of dismissive, I guess, in a way that it shouldn't, in a way that it shouldn't be. But just people who aren't used to craft beer, I guess, is the best way to put it. Newbies to the thing. This is a good chili beer for newbies, or just people who generally don't buy craft beer, or they do, but they're kind of into the tourist beers, the safe beers. This is a safe chili beer. Not that Good Robot's Diablo is necessarily a big step up. Honestly, we need a really good like super chili beer around here. Something that's actually got like real heat to it. But enough heat that you can get the heat, but it's not sacrificing drinkability for more experienced craft brew drinkers. But yeah, anyway, I've been blabbing on too much. Thanks for watching. If you did, and thumbs up, comment, all that crap. Get my algorithm going. Jesus. But I'm getting the fuck out of here. So goodbye and be good and stay safe. And I don't know. Don't kill old people in the streets unless you need to.